Our next guest is a graduate from Notre Dame in 2009 with a finance degree and a 3.8 average GPA, which just a little bit higher than mine. But he hasn't taken anything from consideration, the typical path for an alum with those credentials. Instead of the trading floor on Wall Street, he spends most of his days in the boxing ring. During his professional career, the Chicago native is a perfect 19-0 with 10 knockouts. Mike Lee, welcome to Notre Dame Day. Mike, good to be with you. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So, how did you get started in boxing?
I was actually about 8 years old when I first got to a boxing gym. I was getting in a lot of fights, and my dad brought me to a boxing gym, and it just it took off.
So I have to laugh a little bit. You said you got in a lot of fights. Were you winning at an early age, and did that sort of say, hey, look, if I can do this, if I'm winning these fights, maybe, your dad says, I'll put you in a ring and let you do it?
I was just always very competitive. I was an extremely competitive athlete, and I played a lot of different sports growing up. But something about boxing just really spoke to me when I first, got my first amateur win, and I was, fighting the Chicago Golden Gloves and just feeling that adrenaline rush. No other sport in my life had given me that feeling of one-on-one combat where there's just no timeouts, no excuses, and everything's really on you. And I just fell in love with it. I'm outside the ring. I'm very calm, laid back person. But when it came to sports and boxing, I was extremely aggressive and focused in a different matter. So it just as soon as I got in the ring, I fell in love with it.
It's funny. Mike Singletary was referred to in the world of football that way. Off the field, one of the nicest, most mild-mannered individuals you'd ever meet in your life. On the football field, total animal. Now, for you, it was a little different. You decided to forego the corporate jobs in financing to get into boxing. Was it a tough decision to say, I'm going to commit myself to be a boxer? I mean, 19-0 is a great record. And have you thought about the financial world at some point?
Yeah, I have, to be honest. But I knew that coming out of school, I was extremely grateful to obviously graduate from Notre Dame and get a finance degree there. But coming into my junior and senior year, I started fighting in the amateurs, and I won the Chicago Golden Gloves. I just started doing well, and we had offers to turn pro. And so when Top Rank came along, who had Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather and had Oscar De La Hoya at one time, when they gave me an offer to turn pro a little bit before I graduated, I just knew that at the end of the day, what I was doing obviously was risky, but I loved this. And I knew that even if I broke my hand in my next fight and never fought again, or I became a world champion, at least I could go to bed at night knowing that I went for it and that I did everything in my power, because I just truly believe that the pain of regret will hurt a lot more than a broken nose or a few cuts that I have right now from sparring.
I just think that's such a great approach to life. And I think a lot of people, a lot of our Notre Dame family that are watching this can learn a great lesson from you. Now, what's it like for your return as an amateur for your first pro box here at the Parcell Pavilion?
That was incredible. We put on the first professional boxing event in Notre Dame history. It was about 3 years ago. It was the night before a Michigan State home football game. And we put the ring right in the middle of the basketball arena, and we had about 5,000 people there. I was the main event, and we had other fighters on the card, and we raised over $100,000 to various Notre Dame charities. So for me to be able to come back home, fight at Notre Dame, and in addition to that, help out a lot of people in the process was just a dream come true. We actually had Regis Philbin. He was the ring announcer for the fight, and I got to warm up in Mike Bray's locker room. So it definitely had an amazing Notre Dame vibe to it, and just coming out to the fight song and everything. And at the time, I was 6-0, 7-0, I think. So it was a really amazing experience for me. And to be honest, I would love to do it now that I'm ranked top 10 in the world, and maybe one day fight for a world title there. That'd be incredible.
I'll guarantee you, Mike, if you fight for a world title, there's going to be a whole lot of Notre Dame people there to cheer you on. I thought Regis might want to be your cut man in the corner, to be honest with you, knowing how he likes to do that so much.
What? He was really excited that night. He came in the locker room beforehand, and so I bet if I would have given him the opportunity to be my cut man, he probably would have taken it.
Mike, thanks an awful lot for joining us. Good luck in your next coming bouts, and let's go back to Ann.